Good evening, everybody. Welcome to RPG Limit Break. I am Beta Kappa Omega Strep, and tonight we have a Game 3 in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Summer Tournament between HoodyTwoShoes and MetalDream. The winner will advance to the quarterfinals and face Nimenva. The loser will be out, just like me and just like my co-commentator, DK9146. DK, what are you hoping to see tonight? And if it's like me, I think you're hoping to see suffering, but we do have Hurtmore right off the bat.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's another good race. The first two races in this have been extremely tight. We've seen a couple variants, and last night, level 21 required to go was amazing. But yeah, early Hurtmore in this one kind of makes me a little sad, but you know, lots of things can go wrong for him still.
Exactly. I mean, they only have one cast of it with that 8 MP, so if they try to get greedy, they could also get one shot by things like Axe Knights if they try to hunt them down right away. But I expect these runners, being as good as they are, they will probably just hunt for a wolf or something like that and gain some HP before they get greedy.
Yeah, we saw that in both races, but especially last night, the runners would go out, find a grind, get grind in, try and push a little. Once the seed said no, they'd go back to grinding. But here we go. We're going to find out what the king's going to give them outside of that key in the back.
I'm rooting for a cursed belt plus something. But instead we get gold and a fighter's ring. Now, usually people will save with a gold start, but with Hurtmore, I wouldn't expect either one of them to do that.
Absolutely agree. No real need for cash. You're most likely, at least, to recoup cash really quickly, regardless of deaths.
And it looks like we're starting in the middle. We don't see an edge right away, so the people that are hoping for a reverse count are in shambles. But MetalDream sees a Warlock right away and gets it, so we will see levels immediately.
Yeah, those are moderate numbers. 15 MP is actually the big one there. That's 3 more Hurtmores. We're getting level 2 over here for Hoodie. He got half the experience.
I'd expect Metal to take a Slamu here and go into the swamp, but it looks like he wants to see more map with that gold, and we aren't seeing much of anything yet.
Yeah, both runners walked opposite directions here. Neither has come across anything. Hoodie went ahead and said, "Yep, we're slammering into the death," and here we go.
And MetalDream opted to punch a magician down, so he's getting level 4, and okay, we get agility and HP and outside.
Yeah, they already got more HP than they had like at level 15 last night. This is nuts.
And we already see the rainbow drop trade into the east. We also see a town on Hoodie's screen. I don't remember which direction he went, but MetalDream just gets taken out by the Scorpion. He's out of resources, so that's doing him a favor, honestly.
Yeah, agreed. He needs to get a quick refresh here. We'll see if Hoodie pushes back there. I believe this time he went straight east, but we'll see if that's which way he goes now.
Brian said the town is due east, but of course there was a wizard nearby, and we can't really do much with that with Hurtmore, so could be a bit dangerous if you try to push it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, we see Hoodie here. He had a Druid. Now he got a Poltergeist. Meanwhile, MetalDream has been able... Well, that's a fantastic Hurtmore enemy if he's able to successfully take it down.
He actually landed both Hurtmores. That's kind of amazing. And so that'll be 2 levels at once. And we are getting 11 power, 4 strength, or 4 speed, 37 HP. And we also get heal, which is really nice when you don't have any other healing.
I feel like the seed was born just to taunt them from last night's race where they had no HP. But now a Metal Slime potential here as Hoodie's picking up level 4.
Yeah, this seed is definitely compensating for yesterday. This is very jetty. We could easily see a sub-hour finish if exploration is good to the runners, and if Charlock isn't terrible.
No, absolutely agreed. And after a couple, trolly Metal Slimes there, MetalDream decides to move out of that zone, goes west a little bit here, and finds his own town, which is Keytown.
When you have early Hurtmore, this is the most important town to find right away, I think, because you can get instant check at the start with the chests in the treasury cave underneath, plus you get the one chest in the inn here. And it also gives you the ability to check Garenham whenever you find that.
Absolutely, having the keys in hand is giant, and Hoodie did not try to go back towards that town, did find a dead end, and went ahead and took the quick death warp here. We'll see where he decides to progress. I believe Metal went north and then slightly west to find this, so it's not very far away.
And we see a Cursed Belt in Rimmeldar, so now we know that one of the 3 searches is guaranteed to be active, whether it's Cantlin, Hawksness, or Cole. We don't know that yet.
Yeah, usually assuming at least one, and honestly, usually assuming all 3, but it's nice to get the confirmation there, and yeah, at least it didn't troll us with the key fund. We do have a Flame Sword available, not very needed, though, in the seed so far, at least with that Hurtmore.
And Hoodie took down a Metal Slime because he happened to see it before his strength hit 20, so it could not run away, and that's 160 XP for him, so now things have equalized in that department.
Yeah, that's amazing. And he started heading east again, and after that, Metal finds the wizard and dies again. Doesn't even see the town this time before he dies.
It's a bit unfortunate. I mean, 36 agility, you're reasonable to get away from a wizard. Wizards aren't that agile as far as Charlock enemies are concerned. Metal sees a knight. I would expect Metal to just try to find a spot to sit down and grind at this point, to get more MP, to allow for more exploration.
Yeah, and honestly, I thought that zone might be it. That knight's a fantastic early Hurtmore enemy, much more likely to go on it, especially at our agility. But he does find the north coast, it looks like, in another cave.
And he is opting to throw the Hurtmore at the skeleton. You really hate doing that at this point, but you kind of have to. And Hoodie has found Garenham.
Yeah, so here's that classic out of order, as we have a fantastic Hurtmore enemy, especially with all of our HP here. Takes down the 130 Axe Knight and is going to get level 7 first. You can't make that up. 20 more HP. Holy cow.
Well, this definitely looks like a Death Necklace seed at this point. Although, stranger things have happened. I mean, we've had low HP seeds turn into 150 HP seeds at the end. We've seen high HP seeds just flatline and sit at like 105 or something like that. But I would say there's at least a 90% chance Death Necklace is absolutely crucial in this seed.
I agree. Oh, well, there we go. We have a single continent because our Swamp Cave backdoors into Garenham. So MetalDream didn't have to spend that key that he already got.
And the next question for MetalDream is, do you just walk back into the Swamp Cave and die on purpose now?
Well, I can see why Metal's doing this. He wants to see what's available, and he is not aware that this is a single continent yet, as he hadn't seen Garenham to the east. But it's humorous that they're both in the same shop or in the same town right now, having arrived in different ways. Well, there was our high five, so Metal going to do some ancillary shopping. Hoodie just going to check what's available. Can't do much else outside pick up this copper sword, as he doesn't have the key yet.
Kind of an annoying situation to be in, where you're finding the town that you want to search. You don't have keys yet. Metal found the keys first, so he gets to do all of this stuff. So he already has an early edge as far as routing efficiency is concerned.
Yeah, and if it does take off, little things like that really truly do add up tremendously. So we'll see what happens. We're going to find a coast here for Hoodie really quickly, because this didn't go very far.
Metal, for some reason, fought a Drakey. That might have been out of habit since it's early, but that's not what you're looking for when you're running around with Hurtmore.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Hoodie just plopped down in this desert over here, is killing the gold man, getting a little more gold, maybe looking at, I think there was a half plate in one of the two towns.
There's also a broadsword in the ham. He might want that as well for when Hurtmore doesn't finish something off. And he does get level 8 before MetalDream, so he actually has an XP lead now.
All right, that was moderate. 9221 had a stop spell there. Meanwhile, because of all of the MP they had, MetalDream going ahead and trying to hurt more this Blue Dragon and gets that big 180.
I was tempted to do the darts call, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
No, same. I never do it. Hey, here we go. So Metal's going to come back top off. Hoody's trying to get green dragons here. Is getting some, axe knight or knights as well. So it's not bad.
And MetalDream gets put to sleep by a demon knight and sent home, which could be argued as a favor because now he can check the treasury and see what's under Tantagel.
Exactly. Let's see what we got here. He's taking a look, making sure. Definitely has the 4 keys still though, and adjust his fighter's ring real fast. Just make sure he put it on. I was wondering what he was doing there. And what do we got? We got chest 1 has gold, so we do have a gold grind available bottom right. We have the silver harp in the bottom left. In the middle, we have picked up a useless torch, and finally more gold.
And speaking of gold, Hoody has spent some of his to get a broadsword.
Well, he carried around that copper sword. Didn't really use it to much effect. Only swung at a metal slime a couple times, and that's it.
I think he hit a green dragon for 4 or something like that after a Hurtmore hit.
Yeah, that's always fun too. Yeah, that's about what he would be doing at this current attack power. But he got another +10. Basement here for MetalDream is our mountain cave, so immediate gold grind abilities set up inside Tantagel is awesome.
Yeah, with the 3 throne chests and the 4 in the treasury, he just has to open 1 more chest, which will be up top here. And the entire second floor is going to be glitched. So for people that aren't aware, we're going to see probably some very strange text when he checks the chests downstairs.
Look at that Axe Knight, just throwing out a hurt spell. So already a nice hurt mortal enemy, just that much nicer at this point.
Yeah, this would be a very tempting zone to be in if it existed on the overworld somewhere. And we see Metal finishing off an Axe Knight with a Fairy Water. That's always funny.
Yeah, absolutely. Take advantage. Here's level 9 already here for Hoody, and we got 7 more power, 0 agility, 10 more hit points, 14 more magic. So that was a pretty daggone nice level.
And at level 9, we're only 9 HP away from Death Necklace HP. So we'll probably see that at level 10 at this rate.
Yeah, buddy, but first chest down here in Mountain, our second key item, the token. So looking for some stones. Obviously, we're still wanting a sword, wanting the armor, and most likely wanting that Death Necklace.
Yeah, it's entirely possible we could have all the things we need underneath here. Very unlikely, but it is possible. And Hoody buys half plate, so he's gearing up.
Yeah, so this is interesting. We got a lot of divergence right now. We have Metal with the keys is able to do some of these little side checks, and he's got some Mickey Mouse equipment right now, while Hoody's geared up and is just settled into this grind. And we have there's our stones.
Yes, the Stones of Sunlight masquerading as chainmail.
This is magical. So there's that. Here we go. Let's see what this chainmail is. Maybe an herb. Believe that might have been if he didn't already buy it, that's a dragon scale. Otherwise, not sure.
Yeah, I have no idea what that was. One of them had to be an herb, though.
Yeah, he definitely went from 5 to 6 herbs, and then it went empty. Green Dragon down here in the second zone, so we're starting to find out what top of grave will be as well. A little harrowing here. He's going to be out of resources.
Nice presence of mind to throw the torch. It's a guaranteed 6 to 9 damage against anything except for a metal slime.
Yeah, just wants to get to that last chest here. One more chest to go. Let's see if it pays off for him. Hoodie continuing to just grind over here in this desert. And the metal slimes continue to run away, but he's looking for those green dragons and knights. Well, that one definitely a key because he's used herbs and it was empty. So a key for sure there. Mountain still paying off 2 of the 3 key items necessary to create that rainbow drop inside.
I'm very curious as to when Hoodie is going to try to start pushing exploration here. Like, I would find it very difficult to sit here at this point because with the early Hurtmore, it's going to be a jet seed, especially with HP as high as it already is. And this is going to be a mad dash to find things quickly and get to a spike grind. And if you sit in a random zone like this, it's going to be less efficient than a spike grind would ever be typically.
Yeah, absolutely. And that 15 strength there just makes it that much more pressing. That's a nice pickup at level 10 here, already up to 60 strength. You know, MP still got a little ways to go. HP obviously through the roof. And yeah, I mean, if MetalDream is just a little bit more efficient here in this exploration, he's going to be into a grind and go situation much sooner than Hoodie, dependent especially on how fast those keys get found.
And there's a question in chat as to what's on the swamp spike. We do not know. MetalDream went through it. He did not check the spike.
Yeah, and I was kind of curious if he would or not, especially already having that Hurtmore in hand. But I can understand the want to go through. And I mean, it did pay off. He was able to go ahead and get a bunch more stuff handled by finding the back of Garanham.
And the real question now is, when is Hoodie going to find Rimmeldar? I mean, we know it wasn't super far from home, so if there isn't a loose key somewhere, he's going to have to find it.
Yeah, it just depends. Ultimately, he needs to go back west, then north, then west. It was not, yeah, agreed. It is not very far at all, but he is definitely not heading that direction whatsoever.
I think this is a common theme that we tend to see in these jet seeds, is that you get these divergences and like there'll be a key location fairly close to home, like say a couple screens away or something, and then you can see people that just don't see it for like an hour, and you can see people getting it in the first 5 minutes.
Absolutely, and it's so much more impactful, like you said, in a jet seed, because you know if it's a slog and it's a long one and you got a lot of exploration, you might be able to offset missing something like that. But when you're looking at something that could potentially be sub-hour at this point, every second counts, and the longer he goes, the more double exploration he's going to have to do.
And in this case, it's especially crucial since we had so many useful things in Tantagel behind locked doors.
No, absolutely. You got MetalDream over here with the Silver Harp already in hand. So once he finds the Staff of Rain Cave, which very well could be this, he's going to be able to exchange it immediately. No, we got the Grave, though.
And the Grave could be very useful as well. We might see Erdrick's Armor or Erdrick's Sword in here, potentially.
Well, we do have a town for Hoodie here along some river, and it is Cantlin. Yet another town that he might be able to buy something in, but is going to have to come back if there are coordinates.
Yeah, this is just rough. When you get all of these towns with locked doors and you don't have keys, like, I know that pretty much every experienced runner of this game, this will be in the back of their mind and be like, this is a jet seed, I'm seeing all of the locked doors, I don't have keys, this is bad and or unlucky routing, and I'm losing time here.
No, absolutely agree. What we got at the top here, we have the Erdrick's Armor, a torch, and an herb. So all of our guaranteed items now acquired. The sword is somewhere, could be in the overworld here still, or it could be in Charlock.
And MetalDream is opting not to try to dive. He only has 2 MP left, so that's totally defensible. Although he does have quite a bit of survivability with Erdrick's Armor and 120 max HP.
Yeah, it's definitely a decision, and he was a little bit of ways, and I think especially with the little bit of knowledge he has, you kind of want to do it. At the same time, you got to be thinking some cave or some search spot has to be more likely. But we have the tablet next door.
And it's entirely possible that MetalDream could just stay alive without resources and knock out whatever remaining required things he needs. Because it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of anything on this overworld that's posing much of a threat right now.
Yeah, so far so good. We've not seen the hardest to run from enemies, the Armor Knights or the Red Dragons at all. We've seen one zone with Blue Dragons, the rest with some trivial Charlock or lesser enemies. And like you said, 39 agility, not a huge favorite on some of those higher enemies, but definitely in line to at least coin flip. Yeah, I've been watching Hoodie over here too, and he just keeps completely not getting where we need to go. He's gone south across the bridge, across another bridge of where Cantlin is coming across his own cave here, which he must already know or wanted to explore the extra.
Probably wanted to make sure it was a dead end and no other locations are hiding around here. Yeah. And here's the Stones Cave. So let's, for his sake, I hope it's a free key, but unfortunately not.
Yeah, a free herb, definitely not as appealing, especially when you're already topped off. So yeah, he's running slim here. What are we looking at? I think we are now down to it has to be rim for him.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's the only check that's left that actually has keys available that aren't behind something.
Yeah, we've already seen Tablet. We've seen both Grave and Mountain. So, yeah, he's going to have to find Rim. And we know it's like a screen and a half away from start. And he is just in the completely wrong side of the world right now. And even worse, if he does come across the Staff Cave, he's got to come all the way back down this way with the Harp eventually as well.
I think this is definitely a case of just like purely due to routing luck. He's probably going to lose, I would say, 5 minutes.
See, chat. That's why we have chat involved. Every once in a while, they have a smart. If he backdoors into Garanham did have a key in the back of it. So if he finds the Swamp Cave, he can go through and also pick up the key that way.
Chat has a better memory than we do.
No, I absolutely agree, 100%. So, well, this whole time, Metal's been having to run from things. Does see a town on the horizon. Surely it will not be Hawksness.
That's Hawksness 2.0.
It's the town that should have died, Breckenary. They do have a small shield. He will go ahead and pick that up for another 4 defense and go to the end for a much-needed refill here. And we'll see how this exploration goes for Metal now that he's refueled.
Now I'm trying to remember where Swamp Cave was. Like, that couldn't have been super far from start either.
I believe Swamp was just past Rim, so he's almost assured going to see Rim first because he came out of Rim, then went into Swamp through. Here's Charlock down here right next to Brexo, a very nice top off as well. So, yeah, he's got to get to that northwest area. And as we just saw, Hoodie just saw the south coast, completely opposite side of the map.
So what you're really saying is that chat was going for the technically right argument, which is there's a free key available via Swamp, but Swamp is after you see Rim, so you're not going to go through the Swamp to get your first key because Rim is right there. Thanks, chat.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, there is that outside chance he goes west first and then comes back up and comes across the top and finds the cave, but I mean, we'll see how that works out. I mean, I've seen weirder things.
Somebody with the power should put up a prediction with channel points. People can put their points where their mouths are, because I'm going to say that Hoodie will see Rim before he sees Swamp. Or more precisely, he will get Rim before he gets that free key in the back of the ham.
Well, we'll see what happens here. Hoodie continues to press. We still have Cole outstanding with a possible search item. We still have Hawksness outstanding with a possible search item and a possible grind enemy as well. And outside of that, we're what are we looking for? The Staff Cave, and that's it, right?
Yeah, I think that's all we've got left. We have seen the rainbow drop trade, so that's it.
Well, don't look now, but Hoodie has walked long and far across the south coast and has found a cave. And that is the grave. So he's found this an alternate direction from the way MetalDream. That is very, very intriguing because Metal came west to east here.
The question is, will he survive to get to the armor? This green dragon is blocking him. Oh, he finally gets away with 6 HP, and he's now out of herbs, so this could get dicey.
Yeah, that would have been this will be a huge loss if he can't get this armor. That would be a great pickup for him after this long, arduous journey he has had. I don't even know if I swing at this Trakima unless I've already seen him, just in case I miss him and it DL2s me.
Yeah, anytime you're far from home without resources and you're in a cave and you're looking to clear chests, don't take any chances, because that's when the game loves to throw things like, oh, here's a Drakey you saw 45 minutes ago that had nothing, but now it has DL2.
Yeah, exactly, precisely. So, well, he does get the armor, gets that gear tied up here, at least as far as defense goes, and he is trying to make his way back out. So he wants to get this rest of this exploration in the southwest area done. It makes sense from his perspective. He's walked very, very far, and it might pay off. Obviously, we know he's got to get north and then northwest to get the real payoff for keys.
And not only is he wrong ordering the seed, but anytime you're running around this length of time without resources, any hurt more seed is just terrible. Because you know that your opponent, if your opponent is anywhere near a refill or is death warping or something like that, that they are gaining XP on you left and right.
Yeah, 100%. And as we see it right now, MetalDream has officially taken the experience point lead, I do believe, with that werewolf kill. Just slightly, and does join Hoodie at level 11, but oh no, he's slightly under, but he is definitely going to take it here in a moment. And Hoodie, yeah, outside a couple of Drakimas, hasn't gotten much of anything.
And he also has to do the walk of shame out of Tablet Cave. Both runners found Tablet Cave without the resources to cast outside.
Yeah, that's obnoxious. I understand why both of them did it, because again, for both of them at this point, they had walked pretty far to get down here. However, it just sucks. So now Hoodie officially reaches the southwest corner. Will begin the walk north, and we do know this is circular in some manner because MetalDream came down this direction earlier, so he should be able to get somewhere at some point.
And don't look now, but we have 132 max HP at level 11.
It's instead of green at like 130-ish, it should start turning into like a flashing magenta, slightly offsetting that initial like min HP or min strength thing that happens at the beginning when it flashes.
Why don't we make it a flashing rainbow? You know, like call into the parallel with the Rainbow Bridge.
I like it. We'll try and engage Captain Nudu on the side here, but Hoodie gonna find Breck. Does go up here. He's gonna find out that there is not a large shield, and we'll top off and continue north versus south like Metal did about 5 minutes ago. So we got 18 experience separating these two right now. Metal a slight advantage on the exploration, but honestly, his exploration hasn't truly paid off because the two main draws, Cole and Hawksness, remain completely elusive.
Just imagine if they're on the same screen somewhere. It's very much in play at this point.
That would be fantastic, and we still need Metal to find Cantlin and see if we have some coordinates as well. Hoodie knows where that's at, but still no keys.
I mean, Metal could just go back to Grave and dive it and hope Sword's in there. He might not need coordinates or Cole. I mean, we've only seen the one belt, right?
Absolutely. And you know, I always wonder about that. The one thing I would say would be a push for Metal to keep exploring, as he still needs that one more cave. So keep looking. Maybe you find those towns while trying to find that cave. But if you do find that cave without the towns, I absolutely could see the argument to go back without any further belt knowledge.
The more of the overworld I see, the less the less value I see it having for grinding. Like, there's just, on all this walking we've been seeing, there's just not a lot out there that's worth fighting. I mean, you see a random Magiwyvern here, but like the XP totals haven't really been going up that much.
No, agreed. And I think Hoodie was giving us a preview of one of our grinds. I saw a Stone Man encounter, and you know, I've got my fingers crossed that we might even just pull off a double Stone Man.
Well, since I'm involved, it's either that or a double blue dragon, right?
Oh, that's the dream. I mean, we already saw Metal. He had no issue double hurt more in the blue. I think it took him 4 or 5 hurt mores to land them. But yeah, let's see what happens here. I think the time frame for Hoodie to find keys, his exploration as well. It seems like he has completely crossed off the south half of this map at this point, which makes me think the rest of our locations are somewhere in the northern half. Just where, I have no idea.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of nothing. Like, we've seen the caves, and that's basically all there is. And it's like, if Metal could just get to Hawksness or something, and like, let's say Hawksness has the sword, and it has an Axe Knight on the tile, and then there's like, say, Coal next door, or Staff Trade next door. It's like, he could basically be done right now, but he's just not finding it.
No, absolutely agree. And the more I think about this, I'm already terrible at mapping, even when I'm paying attention, but even less so when I'm not paying attention. But I think like the northwest is our only spot because Metal stopped exploration that direction when he got the swamp cave and went through. So whatever may be past that seems to be a likely candidate for the area we need to go.
Do you know if Metal maps? Because if he doesn't, he might have written off that part.
That's a great question. No, Metal's an enigma for me. I have no idea. Someone in chat might know, though. I definitely know Hoodie does not.
I mean, I officially went to the dark side not super long ago and stopped mapping, but I still take short notes as to like where the key locations are. So I still have like some reasonable idea of where I need to go. But I don't know what the other non-mappers do.
Yeah, that's fair. Because I don't either. I don't know how they even play this game without doing a map. I tried it twice. It was terrible. But anyway, we've got MetalDream upgrading to a broadsword here. Back in Cantlin is taking a look at his key count, and we'll be topping that off and shortly finding out if we have coordinates. If we do, Erdrick Sword, Death Necklace, and the Fairy Flute all in play.
Well, I know what I want to be on the map if it's the coordinates.
Oh, I absolutely want to see that flute so badly, and I want to see that like that marginal. I don't want to see it like too far to where they just automatically go get the princess. I want that marginal like 75, 57 where you're like, you know what, I can count that, and then you do all of that and find out it's that terrible item.
I think Metal walked out of Cantlin without checking coordinates and then walked back in to go to the inn.
I'll use at the bottom there. Maybe you needed to top off, didn't have enough resources. That I did miss. But the big thing that I did see, 22 agility and 20 more MP at level 12 is very nice.
And we got a nice 70 south 9 west, so
yeah, that falls right there what I'm looking at. Let's see if he thinks he can count that. I think that's something that you might give a shot.
Like, I don't remember enough about the starting area to know how zigzaggy this is, but I imagine it isn't a straight line.
Oh, I would absolutely assume that as well. We've seen a lot of rivers, both north, south, and east, west along the way with little connector bridges. So we're definitely like this one we see on Hoodie's screen. So we're definitely going to have to do a little zigging and zagging.
And since we did get info from chat that Metal does map, if I'm him, I would just go to the area that I haven't seen yet, since you still need the trade cave. You still haven't seen Hawksness or Cole. Like, I'd want to see those things before I deal with a count like that. And since the Swamp Cave is somewhere closer to the remaining spots, I would just go look for those remaining spots, and then if I have to, I could just go get Gwalen and not lose time doing that.
Yeah, he's along the East Coast right now, so maybe he hasn't gotten to the very far northeast. Meanwhile, Hoodie has gone further north and continues to press north. Honestly, the tiles nothing looks familiar to me, so I'm not sure if he's in the ballpark of getting to where we know keys are or not at this point.
Yeah, I think this looks different from the area around Rimmildar, but it's been a long time since I saw that town, so I can't be entirely certain.
Oh, here we go. Just near the northeast, we do have Metal find a cave, or was this swamp? No, there's our... Okay, so he's back to the jerk. And Metal's about to figure out that this was a single continent, as he's going to find Garanham round 2.
I'm very curious to know what his reaction will be when he knows what this is. Like, whenever I confirm a one continent seed after all of this walking, I usually utter a few things that aren't repeatable on a family-friendly channel.
Well, we'll see here. Hoodie has gone back to start now. He's going to top off, so he is definitely narrowing down the direction he needs to go, and I think that direction's probably going to be the right one at this point. And for the comment in chat, I believe I've already told that chatter there are no comeuppances. But no, that's exactly what happened in that last series, and little things like that just play out so badly. And as we saw in that series, and yeah, we'll see what happens here.
Missing a location would never come back to burn somebody in a race, guys. Come on. Never.
You can't convince me that Caitlyn exists. But he is definitely... Oh, he started to go the right direction and then took a southerly path. He was... Oh my gosh, he had to be a few tiles away from seeing Rim. It was so close.
Well, what you got to do regarding Caitlyn is just do your gold grind, get the flame sword, and then you don't even have to find Caitlyn. You can just ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist, just like Breckenary.
Yeah, that's called being smart and not putting all your eggs in one basket. But anyway, we're gonna see Rim. Oh, hey, there's an enemy that kind of looks a little scary, but surely the Hurtmores will just land.
Yeah, Hurtmores always land. Come on, we are gonna see a spike check on Metal side, and it's an Axe Knight. Oh man, if he had checked this earlier. I mean, it's hard to do it in a early Hurtmore seed, but if you checked it earlier, like, he could have just sat there and gone all the way to, like, go adjacent or something like that, and done exploration with repel up constantly.
And the repel's the biggest piece, I think. Just like you were noting earlier, just so many terrible encounters. As we finally see Rim on Hoodie's screen, let's see if he gets there. Note in chat, just got here, tell me this is as fun as last night's seed. So tonight we have decided to completely reverse last night's seed and give them all of the HP immediately and make them find the rest of the stats as we move along.
And Metal picks up Gwalen. Now, I'm curious to see if he's going to go back to start immediately or if he's going to go hunting to the northwest first. Because, I mean, when you have 134 HP and you have Erdrick's armor and you have heal more and hurt more and 70-ish MP, like, this is probably about as survivable as it gets. Plus, this overworld is mostly nothing as far as monsters are concerned. Like, I would push the exploration. I wouldn't want to do the count immediately, personally.
Absolutely agree. I mean, yeah, you're almost impossible to kill at this point. Another 5 strength there is nice, but needs a little more. But yeah, you're almost impossible to kill. We have 141 HP now. We have enough MP to make it work. We have Erdrick's armor, so even if something does have DL2, even full wombo where you sleep in DL2, you're still most likely to survive and have a chance to get out of it at least.
There's a question in chat about the princess coming with you if you death warp. Nope, she goes immediately back into her cell in the swamp cave.
Yeah, I figure this is how I envision it: is you die, the shock of your death horrifies her so badly that, you know, she just in the back of her brain runs to that safety spot of her cage like a caged animal would, and even relocks the door behind her.
Well, that got dark in a hurry.
Yeah, it's a little messed up in my head. I'm not gonna lie, that's what I see every single time that I play this game and I die with the princess. Doesn't happen often, but
I mean, it gets a lot weirder when you have a seed where the swamp cave is underneath Tantagel. So you imagine somehow the hero dies and you're right under the castle and she decides to go back into the cell.
oh my god. But we see the benefit of a very, very fantastic grind spot here, as Metal had about a 300-400 XP deficit and uses his resources, quickly jumps ahead here. Is going to go turn in the princess. Looks like he's going to make a play. That 70 south 9 west takes him away from, or takes him to everything he's already seen, though, I believe.
Yeah, I think the southern half of the map was fully explored, so if Metal does actually decide to do the coordinates right now, and especially if the coordinates are the flute, this is going to cost him significant time. Like, this is a very glaring opportunity for Hoodie to skip this whole step and save several minutes, honestly.
Yeah, instead, right now, Hoodie is almost repeating exactly what MetalDream has already done. He has walked further northwest, gone into swamp, has decided to try and at least go through swamp, or at minimum go check the spike. If he's successful, he'll go through, he'll get the Garenham and confirm the single continent, and then from there, you know, we're going to see him quickly do some of those same checks.
Well, it looks like Metal's going to start walking around with Gwaelin, so it doesn't seem like he's interested in going back right away, which is to his benefit.
Wait a minute. I was completely wrong. Metal doesn't realize this is a single continent because he came in through Swamp South out Garenham. He just circled back to Garenham. He hasn't gone back past to see everything unless he had already seen the jerk the first time around. I can't remember.
I think MetalDream saw the Rainbow Drop trade fairly early.
Okay, yeah, chat confirmed. So yeah, he definitely knows then. So yeah, it's kind of surprising. Then if you know that you're a screen and a half away from start, you got her in hand, you might as well drop her off just to have her ready if you are. Unless he's just hoping that he doesn't need her, and he can just carry her around. I know a few people that love to take her to the Dragon Lord.
I'm pretty sure I carried her around the world in one of my races. Like, I had her for a really long time.
Yep, you were definitely one that I was thinking of, and you did. You had at least one where you had her for 2/3, 3/4 of the seat, it felt like. Well, meanwhile, Hoodie got to the spike, found about the Axe Knight, and has just decided to pummel it. The Axe Knight does have heal more. Not sure how much that we saw of that. But it does have a heal more. It doesn't seem very frequent, though.
I gotta say about Gwaelin as a travel companion, she really isn't much of a conversationalist. She just says the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's nice when your partner's quiet. But you know, a little conversation every once in a while is helpful.
Very questionable taste in music too, I gotta say.
Well, we're going to get level 16, level 14 here for Hoodie here off of this. Now he stops spelling, but he's going to get it off of this Axe Knight, and then we'll see if 14 pushes him out or if he wants to use the rest of these resources. For some reason, deciding not to use Hurt more, or did he get No, he couldn't have gotten spell block. The guy has hurt and heal more.
He just opted to take a strange approach to it. And okay, let's take a look at the stats now. This is getting close. Like, I think this actually is winnable with Death Necklace. It might even be winnable without Death Necklace.
Yeah, once we get the sword, we're looking at 129 attack power because we do have that fighter's ring and 11 heal mores and almost guaranteed doubles at 143. So just how many you find is another story. But Death Necklace adds that plus 10, and we lose the double opportunities for the most part, but makes it that much more free. Now Hoody's got to figure out what he wants to do. No repel, and he still has to do a lot of walking.
Yeah, no repel and no convenient place to buy fairy water to act as a stand-in for repel. This is kind of a bit of a nightmare, honestly. And now we see MetalDream finding Cole and his last cave.
Yeah, we'll see what he opts to do because, like you said, like we were just noting, that 14 looks very, very attainable. So that now there's no need, most likely, to do a grind or even continue to fight. But we get the nothing in Cole. Well, he's going to do his exchange real fast next door. He'll pick up the Staff of Rain, knows where we can get the rainbow. The question becomes, I mean, he can't have that much left. I think you might still press past. As chat was noting earlier, 2/3 chance of something you want, Death Necklace or the sword on the search spot. But there's also a chance that Hawksness has the other of those two items that we're looking for.
I think in MetalDream's case, it makes a lot more sense to do what he's doing than to do the coordinates immediately. As far as Hoodie is concerned, it doesn't really matter what he does since he's still missing all 3 plot items and he's missing the sword.
Yeah, and it's been strange in Hoodie's case. He went from Garinham to Cantlin to get cords. We'll see what he opts to do from here because, yeah, he hasn't been back to start, and we know everything's in Tantagel between upstairs and downstairs.
Well, it looks like Hawksness was not next to Cole, so I have no idea where the heck that could be.
Yeah, either can I. And they did do a kind of wide berth of the map, so maybe there's some like small little inlet somewhere in the center that just didn't quite get explored yet. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It's crazy when a town just will not show up, but it happens occasionally.
Well, now my sincere wish is that Hawksness is in a really terribly hidden spot that takes forever to find, and it has Erdrick's sword in it.
I like this. So let's put Erdrick's sword in Hawksness. That's just hard to find. Let's put the flute on the coordinates, and that Death Necklace just somewhere in Charlotte.
And that would be a really tough decision to have to make in a seed like this, in a race with this type of stakes attached to it. Like, I'm not entirely sure what I would do. I mean, I think I would lean towards just diving Charlock at that point, if Hawksness is hidden somewhere and I just have no idea where it is.
Yeah, and don't forget, we still have the bottom 2 in Grave.
Yeah, I almost forgot about those 2 chests. I wonder if the runners forgot about those 2 chests.
Yeah, both of them realistically have seen Grave a very long time ago. You're really feeling it now because you've hit this level 14, right? And in Hoodie's case, he still needs all 3 key items. He's got these coordinates. He hasn't checked anything in Tantagel. Has no clue where one of the turn-ins is. Whereas Metal's just, he's that much closer to everything.
Yeah, there's a very distinct possibility that Metal could try to win with the broadsword plus the Death Necklace, depending on how this goes.
Yeah, and honestly, I can see the case for him to continue to grind. It's not 100% free at this point, and maybe that next level offsets enough to where that sword doesn't come into play or isn't necessary, or if the sword shows up, you have a little bit bonus if you can't find the death necklace. But we got Hoodie picking up Harp. He's going to go down. He's going to find the other 2 items downstairs. The Mountain, get similar goofy names on the glitch chest in the basement, and we'll see which way he heads from here.
There's commentary in chat about possibly grinding for a flame sword and silver shield. Like, in a seed like this, at this point in a seed like this, doing a gold grind of any type is not even on my mind. Like, I am frantically just trying to get my items and go.
Yeah, if you want to see a nice recount of a panicked gold grind, go watch my last race. Oh, here we got a Hawksness! Look at Metal trying to get to the cords. Finds Hawksness, so he's going to answer some of these questions that we have. But yeah, I did a very panicked gold grind. Obviously didn't pay off.
I mean, the opportunity to have done the gold grind, at least from MetalDream's perspective, would have been when he initially cleared Mountain Cave. He could have done it way back then, and he had no intention of doing it.
For a question in chat, officially, Metal has location knowledge for everything now. We still have to figure out what, if anything, here is in Hawks. We've only seen 1 curse belt, so no guarantee there is an item here. He's got Goylon, so he'll have an opportunity to go get the cords. And yes, he does not have knowledge of the bottom as Hoodie wraps up the Mountain Cave.
And more importantly, we got confirmation that that 1 chest was a torch.
Yeah. Well, there we go. That's the kind of information we really needed. It would have preyed upon my 9 all night.
And now, is this golem standing atop a flute? That's my next question.
Yeah, just crit when you needed to hit it, and a nice just crit. But he only needed to hit it for about another 10 to 30 and gets the big stick. Wow.
Well, that means our coordinates are going to be either flute or death necklace. So now I'm curious to see if Metal will continue the count or not. He might just say no at this point. Although the death necklace would be nice.
Yeah, and look at it from his perspective now, too. Now he's got that much more offense. He's 2 golems away from a level, so he's at a golem. Let's go ahead and do it. We have the resources to most likely pull this off. Meanwhile, Hoodie is clearly not taking anything on, trying to do a manual count to these cords that at best will be the death necklace for him.
Something tells me this count is going to take a hot minute without Gwaelin. Like, you kind of have to go quite a ways to the left here and then go back over to the right. And I assume he may have landmarked it, so he's just going to go right back to where he was and then just go south.
Yeah, but look at this. Unless it wasn't right here, so you lose any way to do a landmark now, and he's going to have to count it far west and then bring it back. And there goes the count.
Yeah, this is just a very gross count. And looking at the stats on 15, yeah, they are good. They are quite good. The only question is what's in Charlock. Is there anything at all that's dangerous in Charlock? Like we saw last night, there was a ton of red dragons, and we were saying last night, both in chat and in comms, that it was basically free. But many healmores were lost on the dive, so there can always be that looming.
Yeah, that's definitely the one thing that can be a big wild card here. We'll see how long this coordinate count throws off Hoodie, and if yeah, he can't even figure out a direct path from where he's at right now to even get across. So this might throw him into a different location. I'm not sure exactly what path Metal honestly took as he was doing chords to find Hawksness, but it was somewhere in a swampy area.
Yeah, this is definitely the type of thing I worry about when I know the count is gonna force me to take like a wide looping path around to get to wherever it is I have to get to. Which is why the routing for Metal just worked out so well for him. Like he's just able to go up and clear his trade cave and get Gwaelin essentially at the same time.
Absolutely, but whatever that path is, it did take Hoodie here as well, as he will be finding the golem here. Now, the big issue for Hoodie, he's still got to get to the staff cave, and he has no clue where that's at.
Yeah, unless he has a sense of where he has not been yet, he's going to be looking around for a while, and that's going to give Metal quite a bit of time to work with here in case things go south in Charlock.
Well, let's see what happens here. There goes the sword for Hoodie. Now he's got questions to answer. He just heal moored, and you could look at level 15. That's exactly what he's going to do. So he's going to ultimately get a much clearer go level. But yeah, he's still got the homework to complete.
Yeah, with the trade-ins outstanding, I mean, it definitely makes sense to take the level here because, first of all, it could make things from favorable to simply free. And secondly, it's a golem fight, so it's quick with the sword. And third, he still really, really wants repel because when you have to do trades, you don't want encounters.
Exactly, and unfortunate, as we are aware, Hoodie Repel not coming at 15 here. So Metal is making his walk to where Charlock is. Hoodie is 2 golems away here, has the resources to get it, but still has some work to do as far as... That was pretty far northwest, I believe, where Metal ultimately found coal and found our staff cave.
Yeah, the walk to the northwest easily took a couple minutes. Like, it was way up there.
Well, here we go. Hoodie leaving one enemy short here. Is using Fairy Waters for repel, so is at least getting a little bit of something. Meanwhile, MetalDream has decided we're going to get these coordinates, and is down here using his princess. And so we'll see if we'll see what the coordinates are here in about a minute or so.
It's an interesting decision. I honestly don't think I would be the one making this decision. I would just be going to Charlock. Like, I know that the insurance of the flute in case there's a golem on the spike is something. And I know that the death necklace is also quite useful at this point. But 129 attack power with this HP and this MP is more than enough to get through.
Absolutely agree, but he is definitely in the line. And it is just a few rows off the southern coast as Hoodie picks up level 15 here himself. And we're going to see it here somewhere in these hills, most likely. Well, there's your insurance. Death Necklace confirmed on the cords. So flute either Deep Grave or in Charlock. Don't believe we're going to find out from either runner.
If anybody checks the treasury in Charlock in this race, I'm going to lose my mind.
And like perfect timing, Hoodie enters the Swamp Cave and goes to a spinning wheel of death here as the stream's kind of having a little technical issues. He'll be back in a moment though. But yeah, he has been all over the place here and just has not come across the locations. I'm not sure exactly the path MetalDream took there. We know it was in a bunch of swamp and near a dead end. That's all I can truly say.
Yeah, my memory of the map of other people's seeds is not very good. I can only really remember what's going on when I'm racing, sadly.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, that's what we have, the power of the hive mind of chat here to help us out. So, but unless, like I said, Hoodie does not map, and we're back to Tantagel at this point. So it is possible that maybe he missed a turn off or misremembers where he hasn't been yet as well.
And the thing of it is, if Hoodie were to find the staff trade like in the next minute or two, like he's really not far behind at all. Like he's still basically within Charlock RNG.
No, absolutely agree. But unfortunately, he's run out of repel from the fairy waters. Oh, this looks promising, and there it is.
Yeah, so this is definitely not over yet.
And Tree, I was going to say, he took the turn as if he wasn't going to go in the coal. I understand both thoughts, but I mean, you're right here. It could be a death necklace, but he's going to find out about the nothing and go get his harp, and we'll see if he opts to go straight to Charlock now.
I love the fact that MetalDream dropped the bridge and immediately got a Stone Man on the bridge.
No, I mean, sometimes the guard's got to come out, and, you know, that's a good guard. We should be paying that, or at least the Dragon Lord should be paying that guy a little bit extra here. But Hoodie did take a look for a large shield. That is something that we haven't been paying attention. But both runners on a small shield. Looks like that's where we're going to finish.
And in much bigger news, we have a red dragon on the top floor of Charlock, and it looks like it's 75% stop spell. But it's not letting MetalDream run away either.
That is that's hilarious. At this point, it's almost just as obnoxious as a metal slime, something that you don't want to see, but is a little difficult to get away from.
I would love nothing more than to see like a 8 run block in a row scenario to a red dragon that just does nothing but cast stop spell every single turn. And we also have armored knights in the top zone too.
Yeah, a little less appealing. They don't seem to be as free, but 155 HP, we can definitely tank a few hits and not be too worse for wear.
Question in chat: at what point do you just swing through reds? When they don't pose any threat to you whatsoever, you do not swing through reds. You just rely on the fact that you should get away about every other turn or so, and you do that because it's faster. If you fight them, you're guaranteeing that you're going to waste like 15 seconds or so every single time you see one.
Yeah, I think the big thing, and we've seen it with a few people throughout the tournament, is you run into that one enemy like that red dragon that should be free to get away from, or, you know, it's free to at least not get damaged, and you have that 5 or 6 run turn. So then you opt to go ahead and swing away the rest of the time, and that little bit of extra loss on that one has been compounded now with loss on all of them.
And the other time you would swing through a red dragon is, in my view, if you're after the spike in the bottom of Charlock and you're on the walk to the Dragon Lord and you are a very strong favorite and you're trying to reduce variance. That's another instance where you'd do it.
Yeah, for sure. So here we go. Hoodie, I'm not sure if he went down a dead end, returned again. So I'm not sure if maybe he didn't know or remember the exact path. So he's definitely got to stop and top off, and he's getting a ton of encounters because of no repel. So this whole time, MetalDream diving, he's in Charlock 5. Next 4 will be the 3rd zone, and you know, an Armor Knight here and there hasn't been a huge concern yet. We are down just the 1 heal more so far.
And MetalDream would almost certainly be fine, even if he were to somehow drop 2 more heal mores. Like, he's in very good shape with attack power with the Death Necklace on. So this is very, very safe, given what we know about red dragons.
What's not safe is that Droll Magi, evidently. It had Sleep and Hurt More, put the Hoodie to sleep for 5 turns, and repeatedly hit him with Hurt More.
I guess the question I should be asking is, has Hoodie seen the Rainbow Drop Trade Cave at all? I don't know if he has.
No, he definitely did. Yeah, he's got the rainbow. Yeah, I was like, he definitely did. I don't think he's seen Charlock at this point.
Okay, that's the thing I was wondering. I didn't notice the drop on his track. I was like, what's he looking for? It's like he's just walking in these weird spots. I'm like, what is he looking for? And and we have chat saying that he saw Charlock too. So did he just simply forget where it is?
Yeah, he's getting there now. This is Breck, so it's nearby.
Oh, so he was just looking for a refill.
So at this point, Metal basically a full dive minus a Dragon Lord fight ahead, although he is encountering a ton of werewolves here on the back stretch, and our spike tile for today is another golem.
Well, if the golem had 25% sleep, now's the time for the golem to try it on the runners.
I like the way you think. That was beautiful. So go to throw another heal more, and that's absolutely the right call there. You use that heal more 100% of the time. Make this safe. Of course, you excellent move again when you only need to hit it with a feather. And we're gonna see a Dragon Lord fight here in a moment that, on paper should be absolutely free. We'll see how it plays out for MetalDream.
So question, is it doable for Metal? Yes, he is a very strong favorite with the Death Necklace. He would be doing 9 to 19, so he's got 12 swings. He's got 11 heal mores. Very, very likely to win this fight.
Exactly, and even after the Death Necklace, he's almost a lock for maybe at least one double. I could even see some people pulling 3 or 4 off if they don't have beta luck, so to speak.
Yeah, I don't think the game is quite that mean to other people, but anything is possible at this point.
Yeah, this has been an interesting fight. He did have to 4-shot it, even though he was hitting into the 40s. Got a double stop spell in there, was able to herb up to be above 100, and is going to get an opening double here at this point. Open with a double 18s, I believe. So that's a really solid spot.
Yeah, at this point, he's got to be over 99% to win with a double 18 start, and then a 16. So, yeah, this is going as well as it can for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's always fun when you start out huge, and then maybe you get a couple of those lower rolls, maybe a 9 and a couple 10s, or a couple 9s and a 10. You're still way ahead. Hoodie coming around zone 5 or floor 5 here is about to hit zone 3. Still looking pretty good, but unfortunate for Hoodie, barring catastrophe, is about 4 to 5 minutes behind at this point.
And I think Metal is up to 92 damage now. So as long as he doesn't take any needlessly risky swings, he's fine.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like to talk about the defense points a lot, and I haven't seen a ton of that discussion tonight, but 72 defense, what is the 52, I believe, right?
Yeah, max is 52 at this point, so he's got to be careful. And with all these extra heal mores, there's absolutely no reason to be gambling, especially with the way he's rolling.
Yeah, so looking really, really solid here. And yeah, I think we're 1 or 2 swings away. Yeah, 49, absolutely do not risk that swing whatsoever.
Next swing is almost guaranteed to win, but not quite.
And he pulls it off with the min roll. Get some GGs out in chat for MetalDream. Going to be the winner of this pivotal race 3. Moving on to take on Nineveh in the quarterfinals.
Very well run race for him. Clearly the difference is just the fact that his exploration was the difference from the get-go. He got that very early Rimmeldar find, and he just took it from there. Just the routing efficiency just cascaded from that point on.
Yeah, absolutely. And if if Hawksness or even the Coal and Stones Cave locations had rolled not so weirdly located and were more in line with that southerly exploration, this definitely would have been a sub-hour seed. That's the only thing that kept the seed from being sub-hour, is just all that additional exploration time.
Yeah, between that and the overworld not really having anything worth fighting, it's there's a lot of XP plateauing happening in the seed as they were trying to find things. The overworld is just honestly, like 90% of it was garbage. It's like Wraiths or worse.
Yeah, and somehow MetalDream still was able to, keep in line with Hoodie. Hoodie did that small dedicated grind there for a couple levels in the desert outside of Garenham on the Knight and the Green Dragon, but it was it was tainted. It had Drakis in it. It had metal slimes that just wouldn't stay around, so they were just time wasters. And ultimately, it didn't really build him that lead that I think he might have been hoping for.
And we have Hoodie fighting the Dragon Lord. He does not have the Death Necklace since he didn't get to the coordinates. But he will be getting a ton of doubles, so this should still be fine for him, I would think.
No, absolutely agree. Every once in a while, the Dragon Lord gets you into that loop where you just can't get into that double healing range. And but at 31, if he gets a nice heal more here, it was a max. So yeah, that's a huge one. Well, GG's MetalDream, welcome in. We'll give it a moment again tonight while we're letting Hoodie wrap it up here. He is into the Dragon Lord. And then we'll get your thoughts here in a second.
No problem.
Yeah, so we got 8 heal more or 7 heal mores left here for Hoodie. No Death Necklace in play, but yeah, he's 39, so he's gonna get another good one here. He just keeps getting breaths out of the double opportunities. We'll see if the Dragon Lord finally plays ball with him and gives him some more options.
This is one of the reasons why I really hate relying on doubles, because you just never know when you're going to get a Dragon Lord that just decides that he's just going to breathe fire 80% of the time.
Absolutely, and the sad thing is, once you do get that physical, it's like inevitably that's when you're going to get that 47, 48, 49, 50 because it can, not because it should.
Personally, whenever I see that happen, I blame Sayaka.
I love it. That's a great whipping push in there. So let's see what happens here. I have not been counting whatsoever. I can barely count my own Dragon Lord fights accurately. So he's got 2 heal mores, getting ready to be down to 1. And yeah, we've not seen many in the way of doubles. Hopefully the rolls have been okay at least.
I've seen multiple 7s, and I've seen at least a couple doubles, so should be good, but not necessarily. This is getting dicey now. But has enough to get it. Like, very likely to get another hit on 47 HP, but you don't want to risk at that point to put your fight in the hands of RNG. But Hoodie will finish in 2nd place in this race, and he gets to join us as people that got eliminated in the round of 16.
Yeah, one of us indeed, absolutely. Yeah, Hoodie again, fantastically ran series here. Just come up a little short in tonight's race, which was honestly, like we said, down to exploration and just some little enhancements. So GG again, MetalDream. How you feeling after this one?
Very good. Since all the races were super close, and I got this absurd encounter rate in the last 10 minutes, I could see all the scenarios in my head. Hoodie just passing right by or being right in front, and I could not, make it there. So really, really relieved to get this win for sure. Hoodie is amazing.
Yeah, so we started you out with Hurt More, and in the anti-last night seed way, we gave you all of your HP immediately. How did that feel?
That felt super great. Like, it took a tale of two extremes.
GG, HoodyTwoShoes, welcome into the booth. Just talking with some MetalDream action here. Very close race for you. How did you feel about that one overall, real fast?
Felt behind, kind of from the jump. I felt like the beginning didn't go very well for me, just in terms of encounter. I felt like, this might just be in my head, but I felt like I was getting an insane amount of encounters on the world map. But once I went the whole south way and found Charlock and Breckenary and, I got the armor, but I felt real bad finding Rim so late. So I felt like getting the keys late was probably going to do me in. And I don't know, but that's what I think happened.
No, you pretty much nailed it on the head. It was a tale of two explorations. MetalDream got keys very early, and then found the back door through to Garenham before realizing it was a single continent, while you went east and then did that whole loop and found all those locations that you would have to go revisit. And ultimately, just that little bit of time that you had to spend revisiting was the biggest difference here.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. What are you gonna do? That's Dragon Warrior, baby.
So I asked you the same thing I asked MetalDream. So in the opposite of last night's theme, the game gave you easy access to killing things and immediately threw all of the HP on you. How did that feel?
Considering that I wasn't really able to find much of, like, I think I died to a wizard on my first life, or I don't know, like I kept looking for stuff to kill and I couldn't do it. Like I got a druid. I felt like I was not doing well enough with what I got, and then I found the green dragons and the knights near Garenham, but then they kind of dried up. So I don't know. I just felt behind. Like I knew that things were available and you could explore, and I had been spending time killing like goldmen and getting a half plate and killing green dragons, and I was wondering like maybe I'm just wasting a bunch. I didn't feel good.
Yeah, and I think we were discussing here in the booth and as well as in chat, with the way this was kind of setting up to be a zoomy seed, whether that grind outside of Garenham there was worthwhile or not. Maybe if it was more optimal enemies, because you were definitely taking some time wasters with those metal slimes, the Draki showing up, Repel being level 16, never showing up for you guys. So you did get that early experience point lead once you got into that and some gear advantage. But that entire time, MetalDream was kind of just hanging out in the background of XP and tanking through a lot of exploration.
Yeah, that was my real concern. And I thought that the reason I was doing it was largely that the agility wasn't great, and we only had like 30 MP, I think, at that point. And so I knew that I wanted to have more, but it just didn't come. So like it just felt bad. I don't know that it was like objectively wrong, but it wasn't like clearly right to do the grind, and it just really didn't work out.
Well, GG's again. This was a fantastic series to watch, even though you didn't come out on the side of it that you wanted to. Still made the round of 16 this year. And any final thoughts on this series or this tournament as we're looking to wrap up? And you can join me and Beta here in the booth and on the sidelines.
Yeah. Number one, I want to say big GG's to MetalDream. I had a lot of fun in the matchup here. So good luck as you continue in the tournament. Be rooting for you for sure. So definite GG's. I feel fine. It's no fun to lose. Like nobody wants to lose, right? But the way that I feel about how I did this round is that I tried my best. I don't think I made huge game-ending mistakes or anything that I'm gonna lose sleep over. So it's just one of those things where I did my best, and my opponent came to play and played very well and won. So I feel good about that. And then in terms of the tournament overall, like this is just so much fun. I don't know, it's different than the casual races. There's just, whether it's Radish percent, Winter Tournament, Summer League, these tournament games, real fun for me, and I like hanging out with all of you. I really love being a part of the community, taking part in the events. So I just I'm grateful that the community exists and you all are part of it, and we get to have this fun. So that's how I feel about all of it.
I'd like to echo what Hoodie has said there. First of all, a gigantic GG's and thank you for the good games. You're an amazing player. You're super dangerous, and on top of everything, you are, in my opinion, a great contributor to the community when it comes to restreaming, commentating, the red slime zones, everything. Like, you're the total package, in my opinion. And I got nothing but respect for you. And hopefully I'll get to see you more in the future. Well, you'll be there for sure. I think it's more me that's MIA most of the time. But yeah, GG's. I'm sorry today was not the greatest of days with the TV woes at the start and everything. So yeah, I'm sure you're gonna do amazing in all future events.
Well, very nicely put on both your sides there. And MetalDream, any thoughts about your next round opponent? Looks like Niminva is coming up for you.
Yeah, that's bad news. Nim, I've always put Nim very high. Like Nim, Slamu, like the archetype of play for Nim is what I dread. the one race I had with Nim was a super close nail biter, where I think it was a red dragon in Charlock that made the difference, like a couple of seconds difference. Yeah, if I want to have a chance, I'll have to play out of my mind, I think.
Well, good luck in the next round. Any questions for these guys here, Beta, before we wrap it up tonight?
The only thing I'm wondering is, MetalDream, did you give consideration to just not even looking for the coordinates once you got Sword on Hawksness Spike?
Yes. It wasn't bad. Like with the drawing that I did, I knew it was down there, and I guess I just confirmed, looking with the GPS at some point. I knew it was down there, and I figured that I was gonna do a drive-by and see what's gonna happen. Especially with the last level I got on the golem, like it lined up nicely to have the necklace on. So I thought about it, but in the end I changed my mind, used the GPS, and just took a chance, and it worked.
Okay, fair enough.
And for me, I felt behind. There was no question in my mind that I was ditching those coordinates. They could have been the flute for all I knew. So, no thanks.
No, I'm glad you answered it. I was going to make you answer that too, because I kind of figured that's where your mindset was, but I wanted to know after you had already tried to count it out some.
Yeah, I saw where it was, and that was like, I think it was in the area, like that long way towards Charlock that I'd already been and seen those locations, and the last thing that I wanted to do at that point was go back there. So I kind of, figured I'm going to go look for other stuff and hope that the sword is not on the cords. I was not interested in going there again.
Well, GG's again to you both. Good luck next round, MetalDream. We'll see what happens with Nim. Nim is unassuming in my opinion, but you're not taking him lightly, and I like that. So looks like we're going to be sending it over to Empty Eye here in a moment, though. So don't look now, but the quarterfinals start next week. So we got a little pause in the Dragon Warrior randomizer action, but keep an eye out for where those next races are. But for our restreamer CyberDark86, for our tracker Shahali, and my co-commentator Beta Kappa Omega Strip, I'm DK9146. Everybody have a wonderful evening.